It's week 1 of the National Football League, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the 49ers and the Bears, and it's coming up next.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan. That's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. Week 1 of a new NFL season. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis back with you for another year from the booth. And Charles, these San Francisco 49ers last postseason, remember they were a 6th seed, came within 1 quarter of getting to the Super Bowl. Quite a story, and it certainly creates a lot of optimism as they begin a new season today against Chicago.
And how about the amount of history between these two franchises? You're talking two of the oldest and proudest teams in the entire league, let alone the NFC. And how about their all-time series? It's tied at 32 wins each with 1 tie. And how about this? They've alternated wins the last 7 meetings. Should make for a nice battle.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. But here come the Bears, and at the helm is someone that they have a lot of hopes for leading this franchise. The 11th pick in 2021 out of Ohio State, Justin Fields.
Justin Fields endured some literal growing pains his rookie season, taking hits and being forced to run for it behind a porous offensive line. But he also had moments where he showed his upside as a franchise quarterback. He did win 2 of his first 3 starts and had a 100-yard rushing game against San Francisco in Week 8. Several offseason changes in Chicago should help get Fields some help in year 2.
Flushed out right. And this is taken. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. Down the right sideline. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
So here are the 49ers and their offense in great field position already. They'll be led out by Mr. Irrelevant in the 2022 draft, a guy with something to prove, Iowa State's career passing leader. And that's Brock Purdy.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there,
on the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after them big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players in one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, it's Purdy. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Down the actual passing lanes, forcing the incompletion. Bring up 4th down.
They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And trying to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Bears will get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on fourth down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now it's Fields. And his throw is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
A shotgun snap, Fields. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he will have the Bears first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Looking sideline, incomplete. Velus Jones is intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. To the air again, Fields. Looks for the out route, and it's complete to Kmet. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down. Now Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. Back deep, Ray McCloud. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Purdy. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Hey, Charles, let's get a look at the draft class for this offense. Remember, no first-round picks this year. They traded it away. How much of a detriment is that?
Well, what they're hoping is the reason they traded away that first-round pick, that player won't be a detriment. He'll be an improvement for their team. And now as you get into the later rounds, in the middle rounds of this draft, That's when your scouting comes to the front. You have to hit on those selections.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. And sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Purdy's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Purdy looking to throw on first down here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job controlling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Another completion there. What a good run. Another quarterback tonight, that first NFL started. Charles, obviously they wanted to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in his first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out down inside the 20, under 15. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. The first red zone opportunity of the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of this caliber let it get away, but get away it
second down. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
Coming in, he really likes his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
And they'll try the option on first and goal.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal.
Montgomery. Oh, Montgomery just unable to twist free as they hit him short of the line to gain.
Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
Montgomery, they'll run for it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed he did not. They stop him. So Montgomery denied on 4th and goal. And his 49er defense stands tall down near the goal line. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. Let's go to the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down.
Purdy looking to throw. This one incomplete. Ball's picked up by the rookie, but he couldn't quite work it in. And now it's 4th down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Just a 30-yard punt that time. It'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
Well, the Bears going to take over now late in this first half.
And And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time, but you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the 49ers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
A brief pause in the action here as they tend to an injury. That's George Kittle shaken up on that last play. Boy, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Back to throw, Purdy. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. Only able to gain a couple there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. A final shot before break. Purdy. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Defensive job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started. And that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty. And before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here we go with McCaffrey. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start in the NFC, a division matchup pitting New Orleans against Atlanta. And that one finds the Falcons out in front. Drake London, a touchdown reception. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Davis Mills has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joe Mixon has a run for a touchdown. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And even though they've got the lead, they're likely going over ways they can improve the running game, as they didn't find a whole lot of success in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after that first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Purdy now to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get the football. Checks out for it. So they have to put this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Now they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Fields going to keep it once more. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The keeper gets him 7 that time, and it'll lead to a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Fields on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. McLeod to return it. 35 yards that time on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Here's Purdy. Open man is Juwan Jennings. And out across midfield down to the 45. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Has a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
On second and 11 now. Purdy completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy. They'll put him out man-to-man to try to limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, getting different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
They'll go with a keeper. And he gets this down to the 18. Twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. Earlier they had 2 other 4th down conversion attempts that did not go their way. This time it does go their way.
And this reminds me of a conversation I had with him in the offseason. There wasn't even a game to be played, but what he told me, I have enough confidence in my team and my play calling ability that I think I can always pick it up. Thus, they continue to go for it.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. This one caught by Kittle. And the 49ers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score of Niners 3, Bears nothing.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Now here comes Ayuk on the jet sweep. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Niners will add to their 4th quarter lead. Well, we lasted all the way to the 4th quarter without a touchdown being on the board, but here a key one to extend the lead.
Definitely, and I really doubt, though, that that's going to open the floodgates. What do you think, partner?
No, not the way that we've seen these defenses play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've been rock solid, but we had to know that sooner or later, someone had to surrender a touchdown, and it happened right there.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
first play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Fields. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Flush to his right. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the 1st down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Fields. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now it's Fields. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. Oh, that really would have been something to see, but he's denied by the framework.
Do you remember seeing David Akers in Green Bay a few years ago on opening day? He had a 63-yarder to end the half, hit the crossbar, and go over. So sometimes it works for you, and sometimes it works against you.
And this time, it's against. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 51 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. So they come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the option, here's McCaffrey. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So that time, they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Dante Hightower on the stop.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Third down. Here's McCaffrey. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with a minute 56 to go. So a big kick coming for Robbie Gould. He hit his first, this one from 38. The kick by Gould is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. Take it in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So now Fields and the Bears down by 13. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They've yet to score all game long, but now they need to do so twice in short order to have a shot. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Throwing again on second down. Fields able to complete it to Montgomery. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now a first down throw. Fields able to find Kmet. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fields. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Here's Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Fields on first down. Jones has it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Nice little juke. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Seconds to go. They must recover if they're going to have any chance. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On second down, here's Mitchell. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of the season.
So for the 49ers, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning way.